GLAM, Los Angeles.
Hi, Kirby. Hi, Sarah. Welcome to Los Angeles.
Our guest needs absolutely no introduction. We are so thrilled to have the one and only Molly Sims
on Los Angeles. Welcome to Los Angeles, babe.
Babe, took a lot to get here. Had an eye appointment I hadn't been to in 8 years. I'm now wearing Invisalign, and I have 2 black eyes underneath this gorgeously baked face.
It's baked, but you have your glasses on, and Molly walked in and told us
why
this.
you have the black eyes.
Well, I did not get in a fight. I did microneedling. I've done it before. And I just got really bad bruising under my eyes. I wanted to cancel, but then I wanted to see you guys and I wanted to do the show because I love the show. But I'm like, oh my God, I look like I have been punched in the face.
Well, first of all, if you're going to go anywhere, a beauty podcast taping is the right place
funny,
to go.
that's what my
We
publicist said.
understand.
They were like, well, I think they might understand since they run a beauty podcast. So
Yes.
there
Yes.
we are.
Yep, you're talking to your people, and you
Talking
look
to my
great. You can't even
people.
tell.
Oh, thank you.
Truly, she walked in and she said she had gotten microneedling. We were
Yeah,
like,
like, what
when
are you
and
talking
where?
No,
about?
I've never, I've done microneedling a lot. I've never had this reaction. Look, it happens. I was just so upset. I'm like, I could have had a facelift. Like, I could have had like CO2. I could have done so many things that I want to do. Anywho, I just got microneedling. But I did do it with the something stem cell, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I did the exosomes on top, which I firmly believe in for like
Yes.
healing.
Yes.
Fine. I'm like, do you think this is going to go down? It's just bruising. It's fine.
It
Oh
will,
my gosh,
it
yeah.
will go down. Okay, wait. Do you want to get a facelift?
I mean, I'd rather like suck this neck back.
Okay.
It's more my neck that I've definitely in the past. People have always actually thought I've had a facelift, but I haven't. I did do Botox in my neck. Like I'm very scared, clearly. I'm microneedling. But yeah, I want to do a baby CO2. I just heard of this thing called ultralight.
Yes.
Okay.
But yeah, I think my neck bothers me. And it's weird because it didn't bother me last year.
So this is a newfound, different era of Molly.
Correct. And maybe because everyone and their mother is talking about getting a facelift. But no, I don't think I'm quite there yet.
I don't
But,
think you're there.
Oh my God.
at all.
eventually I'm going to take this saggy neck and do something with it.
Okay, I do not like asking people their age. How old are you?
I'm 52.
I always think we're the same age as Molly. Like,
Yeah.
I think it's because
No,
we grew up with you.
You guys are way younger.
I truly
but-
am like, no, she's our age. Like when this week someone was talking to me and we're like, oh yeah, we have Molly coming on the podcast and we were so excited. I'm like, yeah, she's like one of us. Like we grew up together. And they were like, I think she's a little bit older. I'm like, no.
I know.
You're
I think a lot
like,
of people
you-
think that. I think because, when I kind of became known through Sports Illustrated and House of Style, I didn't meet my husband until later. And so having such young kids, I'm like going to be 90 when they're finished with with elementary school. But I think that's also because I have such young kids.
You're hanging out with moms that are like our age.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think the most important thing is like, you look like yourself. That
Yes.
is
Well,
a
that's,
very
I think,
hard thing to accomplish as
I
someone in
try.
the spotlight.
Yeah. I try. As you know, I think, that was a little bit of my story with my company, with YSE Beauty. Having access can be really dangerous, as we all know.
Yes.
Right? Because you kind of lose what you're looking in the mirror maybe isn't exactly kind of true, right? And then
Totally.
you get a doctor or a trend or you get something and you're like, okay, and it can be very dangerous. I've always tried to not look different, not look younger, but the best I can look at every age is kind of like my goal. I think when I was so desperate with my hyperpigmentation and my melasma, I kind of saw what a lot of women go through when they're trying to do things they shouldn't be doing. A lot of it is barrier. They're fucking up their barrier. They're doing too many things that your skin has like a thing called barrier plateau. So the stronger the actives, yes, of course it works, but there's downtime. And a lot of times I think in my 40s when I was trying to do hydroquinone and peels and actives and a few lasers, yes, was I even? Sure. But then I was dry and I was red and I was irritated. And so I actually look younger at 52 than I did at 42. Your skin thins. And we have this thing, you know, especially at YSE, like exfoliation is not a bad word until it is.
Mm-hmm.
The CO2s and then just microdermabrasion. Maybe there's a time and a place, but I think women, you know, have gone down a bad road and now they can't keep makeup on their face. Their skin is very thin. Look, it's a slippery slope.
It totally is.
As we all know, like, I think because you have a podcast and I'm lucky enough to have, you know, great people on, I do ask a ton of questions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do. And I'm scared, which I think has helped me. Right. I've seen great work. I've seen not so great work.
We were just talking about
I've never got on. And listen, one surgeon is not right for everyone.
Right.
Totally.
My advice, no one's asking me, but I always, to my inner core, to my circle, to my people, to my community. Emisha, my co-host, just did an underbluff. And I always, you know, for a very long time, I said, I would love you to do ocular. I would love you to go to an ocular surgeon because that is what he does day in and day out, our eyes. Again, surgeons can do a lot of different things well. I've seen it. Trust me. Specificity is important in certain areas. I do.
100%.
Yeah, I agree. I have congenital ptosis. I was born with it. And so my lids are low lying and I had surgery when I was 3 to help with my Mueller muscle. It helped me to see. That was a priority. And it ended up being cosmetic as well because they had to like put a tendon in my eye, you know, like my brow. It was a whole thing. But now as I'm getting older, I'm noticing that my left eye is getting a little heavier. And
people are now doing this like from the brow.
Yeah, right.
We were just
Molly,
talking
I'm
about that.
scared because we were just talking about
so
this.
there's this famous girl. She's a fashion guitar. Her name's Charlotte. I don't want to try to pronounce her last name. It's too beautiful to mess up. She's a fashion guitar and she worked with Dr. Timberlake, who I think trained under Rosenberg.
Okay.
And she did this and she documented this brow going up in the hairline, pulling up from there. She looks incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we are seeing a lot more of that when everyone's like, oh, they got a bluff. They got a bluff. And we're like, actually,
I think you have to be careful with the eyes. I
Yes.
think, as we all know, you see the person we've taken way too much skin. We've taken you look hollow, you look older, you look thinner.
Totally.
and you just don't look like yourself.
You just don't look
You've
like
changed
yourself.
the aesthetic of your face entirely.
I would never have known. Your eyes look amazing.
Thank you. I really appreciate that, Molly. We want to talk to you about just treatments and everything, but we would love to know what's on your face. YSE is a big part of that. And I remember when you launched the brand, a person on your team was like, she dealt with melasma, Kirby.
yeah.
Like, this is your girl because this is the bane of my existence.
Oh, I know.
So how are you? I mean, your skin is truly stunning. How are you keeping your melasma in check? What are you doing daily for that? And what aren't you doing to help that?
Lasers,
Okay.
heated lasers for melasma. I think, there's a lot of new things coming out, but the peak laser, Pico
Oh, Pico?
Pico
Yeah.
is good for our kind of yellow, olive, darker skin tones. I haven't done it yet. I love red light therapy.
You think that it works?
I think it actually works.
Really?
I do the
professional in studio, or do you have a mask at home, or both?
I invested in light stem.
Yes.
It costs me a little bit of money. I do think it works. I think it works for inflammation. I also have cystic acne. I do. Maybe I want to believe that it works, but I like it.
There's been some professionals that have said red light is actually bad for melasma. And I'm a red light fiend. I love my red light masks. So
I have not found that.
yeah, I feel like
personally.
if I'm consistent, it actually does help my
Me
skin.
too.
yeah, that's interesting.
I work with Catherine Esposito. She's an incredible esthetician. You guys have to have her on. She's great at just oxygenating, just flooding that skin, especially if I'm doing a red carpet or I'm doing a photo shoot. Mama does need a little bit of help, as you know. Look, I have your favorite X pads from YSE Beauty. That's kind of my secret with my skin glow and my morning cocktail. It's like my AM routine. In the evening, I do my last call and my problem solver. It's transexamic. It's a dark spot correcting that I use every night on my face, my neck, and my back of hands. I believe in collagen. I'm doing this thing called Doria water. I got to interview this woman out of New York called Doria Murphy. We call her like a wellness curator. And she just throws everything in this drink in the morning, from collagen to creatine to, it's on my site. It's look it up. It's called Doria water.
Okay.
But it's basically just a concoction of everything and get it down you.
So you just chug that in the morning.
I chug that in the morning.
Okay.
And unfortunately, I went through the fires. I did put in a sauna and a cold plunge into, now they're saying cold plunge is bad for women. Oh my God. But
we can't win.
We can't win.
Which also I'm like, great, because I do not want to be cold plunging.
I do have these Amazon heaters, humidifying heaters when I work out to sweat more. I do like the higher dose infrared blanket. I think in terms of products, I have to try so much because my PD, my product development, is basically me and my team, but I'm the one who ends up getting perioral dermatitis from trying so many different things. So I actually have to be a little bit careful in terms of, I love a mask. There's a very inexpensive one called Talika, a bioenzymatic that I love that I use on a plane. Kinesco, I know, a little bit more expensive, but the quality is incredible. Foundation, I still love my G Beauty.
G is so good.
I
It's
think
so
it's very
underrated.
good. It's so underrated. I understand Armani Luminosity. No, I know. Silk.
Yeah.
But I love Merit. I love the blushes from Merit. I love my brow pencil from Benefit. Mascara, I love Gucci Westman, the red one and the brown one. Well, the red, the black and the brown and the red container. What else? Oh my God, I'm like a blush whore. I love blush.
You're speaking to your people, Molly.
Blush. Take it all the way across the nose.
Yep.
Take it all the way up so you don't have the white eyes underneath. There's a Danone.
Natasha Denona.
Natasha Denone. I love her highlighter blush combos. I have 2 different palettes. I love the by Mario matte palette. Look, we all love a little shimmer. I think as you get older, you have to go a little bit more matte. It doesn't mean you have to be matte. RIP, I think, to Pat McGrath. She has one glitter palette that I'm obsessed with that I'll just dot my lids with and then put like a little Vaseline or a little like a gloss on top of it. It's kind of like my secret modeling trick. Baking soda with my toothpaste for a clean whitening. But I try a lot of different things, I'm sure, as you do, because you get sent so many things. What else?
Is there anything that you've tried that you were like, this is not for me? It's not going to work. Like freckle pens or...
Freckle pens do not work for me.
I always
look like
dirty.
I have sun damage and I look dirty.
Yeah. Yeah.
I look
wish I
actually
could
like
be-
what I'm trying to get rid of.
Exactly.
I tried.
I wish I could be so cute. And I see these people adding the freckles and like, tapping it with their ring finger. And they look so...
Unfortunately
fresh-faced,
for us,
but-
I think we've missed that boat.
Yeah,
I think
I'm
we're
like,
just
I
a
can't
little
do
bit.
it.
I
too
have
old for
missed
that.
that.
Yeah, you're like spilling all your secrets. I love it.
Well, I mean, if we can't share with one another, who are we going to share with?
Totally.
And I do believe that. I do love where beauty is going. I mean, maybe I don't need to know your breast implant exactly what, size that you are. And I just can't stand when people say, just drink a lot of water.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Get 8 hours of sleep and drink
8
a lot
hours
of water.
Sleep.
The amount of
No.
times that we have heard that is so crazy, especially like on a red carpet where we're interviewing someone and we're like, you look fantastic. I mean, this is probably back in the day.
Yeah, this was like 10 years ago where
Yeah.
they were like a little bit of Cetaphil and,
Girl.
lots of sleep.
Yeah.
And water keeps us together.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think it's important. I mean, look, I'm not going to lie. Like, between nails, a wax, a facial, like it's not for the faint of heart to try to look good.
Totally.
It does take work. It takes restraint because you're like, fucking, I'm going to do that. You know what I mean? Like, and then you're like, no, I'm not. I want my back fat sucked out. I'm like my bra, like, bothers me so badly. I'm like, am I going to do it? This is what I sound like Emisha when she's talking about a lower bluff for 10 years, just like wear that area, even though like I do the lats, I work out, but I'm like, why getting that pulled together?
Totally.
I do think it's important. And again, you don't have to spill every secret, but help a girl out.
Yeah.
Tell me.
Yeah.
Tell
We
me
see
what
these
to do,
people
how
look
to do.
completely
Right.
different on
So
the red
that we're
carpet.
on a-
Tell me what you are doing.
Like a level playing field. So at least we know that they're playing here
But then
when we're here. You know what I mean?
I'm curious about your take on this though, Molly, being a public figure. Do they owe it to us? Because at the end of the day, now that Kris Jenner, and Kris has always been open about her first facelift with Garth, right? Like she's always talked about it. But now that she said, Stephen Levine, obviously I look different. Here it is. And maybe it's a little different for her because she's older, but that's all people want to talk to her about.
Yeah.
Now,
I know.
it's the facelift.
Right.
And it's kind of like when our girl, Jane Fonda,
Oh, girl.
Yeah.
went on a morning show to promote a film and was asked about her facelift from 15 years prior.
Yeah. I
know.
And she rightfully was like, what the hell are we doing here?
Yeah.
I want to promote my film. So are you, you're like, don't gatekeep, tell the people, but then you're also one of those people that people want to know a lot about.
No, I know. Listen, I think everyone is different. For me, I want to be honest. I want to be transparent, but not always.
Yeah.
I do want to keep some things. I've had some medical issues and some hard times that I can't talk about. I have very small children. It's a slippery slope, but I do commend Kris, and they're just not saying, oh, I got this from Botox.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Yeah.
I commend it because that's all anyone wants to know is, what is it? What is it like? I got to meet Dr. Levine. He's incredible.
Oh, you did?
We got to interview him on Lipstick on the Rim.
Amazing. Oh, wait, was this a few years ago? Yeah, you were ahead.
Already on top of it. Yeah.
Yes, I remember seeing
Levine
this.
is good. Levine, as you know, they're doing a little bit of a different kind of facelift now than the old school. Doesn't mean one's right, one's wrong. I do think medical advances change. We're starting to see, which is in a good way, less is more, but you can do little things a little earlier, which I think helps out. So you're not just doing 75 things in one surgery where shit, she's had a facelift.
Right.
To share it, to share it, to each his own. I was just so proud of Emisha with her lower bleph and documenting it because it was something that she struggled so much with. The same with my melasma. Like it really, I have a freaking company because of it. Like I just suffered in silence because I was that girl who led with no makeup. I was that girl who was a model, and it just made me very insecure. Like very, coupled with having a baby late in life and then having two more and then having a thyroid problem. So a lot of things hit me and I thought, okay, I've got cystic acne now. And I'm like, God only gives you what you can handle. Oh shit, what else can happen? But I was very insecure for a very long time.
Okay. Can we time travel back a little bit? Just your incredible career. So you dropped out of college to pursue being a model. And I feel like it was at a very specific moment in time because being a model at that time that you were a model was like, it was what everyone wanted to be or what we looked up to, like you were on the covers of Vogue. I was watching all of your Old Navy commercials and it really brought me back.
They're not just low, they're ultra low. Hips have never looked hotter. How low can you go? The only thing lower is the pie.
The
Only-
ultra low rise jeans?
At Old Navy, it was the first time I'd spoken in like a commercial kind of thing. I think it was because it was right around the time of House of Style. And then I later ended up getting Cover Girl. But yes, at that moment in time in 1993, 94, 95. Yeah, it was a very hard time for me though. I was entering into a very specific time of modeling into this age of heroin chic. And this Kentucky girl was not of that era. And so that was very hard. I was not, I've never really had a weight problem, but I was coming into the modeling industry at a very difficult time.
Yeah. And then obviously, you were on Sports Illustrated cover twice in 6 different issues. You also walked Victoria's Secret runway. And Kirby and I both had reposted this reel where they were talking about, oh, it's no wonder that girls who grew up in the 90s and O's have like body disorder because look at how people talked about bodies back then. And that was like when you were on camera, when you were on, at these shoots, when you were walking these runways, like
House of Style.
House of Style,
It was
obviously.
very difficult. And I'm not, I mean, look, I'm thin. I'm not naturally a 16-year-old Brazilian girl. I never was, even at 16. I was told I was too fat, too skinny. You're never going to make it. Oh, you're never going to model. You're never going to be an actress. Oh, don't worry. It's only going to go 3 episodes. Oh, don't you really? You want to be a model? You want to be a host? You're never going to be an actress. I always say, like, I come from the no culture. Everything is no. Think about my life.
Yeah.
I get off of a plane. I leave Vanderbilt, sorority, tried out eating pizza, Frosties with, French fries, dipping to the world of heroin chic, my friend. That'll throw you into a deep, dark place.
Who did you rely on in those moments? Like, did you find other girls your age that were in similar positions?
Yeah, I just don't know how you were able to like survive that time and continue to.
My mom was huge.
Yeah. She just believed in you. Yeah.
She was a very big part of why I made it.
Because she was there for you and supported you.
Well, it's also, okay, just give it 2 more days. Just give it 1 more week. I didn't get it. It was amazing.
Oh, Molly.
She was very instrumental in where I am today. Very, very. If you have children, be supportive, like there's not one path, but you do have to have people in your corner. I always say to, women having children, get that village, get that community. Because girl, you're going to need it.
Going through all of that, all the no's, and being in this industry where you are being told you can't do this, you're not skinny enough, you're not pretty enough, whatever it may be. How did that shape your point of view on beauty?
I never loved the thought that you had to be 5'11", blonde, tall, and skinny.
But being a model, I think like what Sarah and I are curious about is you're constantly being
Judged.
Yes, but then also being told you're beautiful, you're perfect.
Mm-hmm.
Like once you started to make it,
Mm-hmm.
they're telling you these things. So then how did you
Like see yourself.
like, were you
You're
picking
going from being so picked apart. Like I went to see someone about my calves. Like you're so picked apart that when someone is telling you, oh my God, you look amazing, you don't think you look amazing. I know it sounds odd, but it's like I tell people, you can diet and you can do all of these things. If you do not feel good in your core about how you look, if you feel good, you look good. If you don't feel good, you don't really look good.
Yeah, if you don't feel good, you're never going to be able to reach the level that you think that you need to be.
I had an argument with my stylist and it was Oscars and I love the Sue hair and they wanted me to wear something else. I just walked the carpet and I'm like, oh God, I look so bad. And I looked back at those pictures like 2 years later, I'm like, Jesus, that was one of my best looks. Like, I don't know how to explain it. I think by that time I had gone through the gamut that, not that you don't think you're pretty, but you've just been picked apart so much. They're like, oh, okay. I don't know. It's a hard question to answer.
Yeah. I want to take I always like to say a hard left turn. I want to talk to you about love and your children because you did say that you had children later in life. When did you meet your husband?
I met my husband in my late 30s.
Okay, this is giving me so much hope.
I'm going to take a hard left with you. And I'm going to start a little bit earlier. I had gotten dumped really badly from someone I really thought I was going to marry. And your favorite ex. But at one point, and I will say this to you, and I've said this in books and I've said this on podcasts and I believe it. You do at one point have to make it a little bit of a job. For me, if something didn't work out, I would just go take a flight. I'd go back to New York, hang out with my friends. I would do anything but stay here or stay in one place because, again, I was on Vegas, I was leaving, and when I wasn't working, I was in Paris or New York. And the bad thing about modeling is you're never really here. You don't go to birthdays. You don't go to funerals. You don't go to, I'll meet you in 2 weeks. And so there is that little bit of when I got into my 30s, I had my core group in New York and Paris, but I struggled in LA to find my people. You know, I was an actor, so I just felt, you know, I had my acting people, but I definitely felt I didn't have my community. So much so that I was really down on myself. And at 35, I went to see a fertility doctor named Dr. Shaheen Gadir. And a very funny story, because I'm like, I just tried to make myself at one point at 38 or 39, if I haven't met anybody, I'm going to have a baby. And I went in to talk to him, and it was terrible. And we laughed about it still. But I was like, okay, I've heard about this egg retrieval. And he was like, still new, but and he starts on his computer, and he goes, look, we can get you sperm. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, hold on a second. And I go, do you not think I'm going to meet someone? I'm like, look at me. I think I still got a little bit and he was like, no. I was so furious. I walked out. Cut to 38 years old. I meet Stuber, but I had set that date. I had set the date, and I ended up going to meet him, and I was like, oh, I kind of met someone, but he was like, look, now we can do it. We're 3 or 4 years past. It's really starting to become a thing, this egg retrieval thing. And anyway, long story short, I met Stuber. I did ask him about 3 months before we got engaged, I want to have a baby, right? I want to have a family. And if it's not you, I'm doing this just to self-preservation. Cut to, actually ended up doing it with Gadir. We froze. I weirdly had 3 children naturally, but he is fabulous, Dr. Gadir. But I do think, look, dating, you're not going to want to hear me say it, but it is like a job.
Yeah.
By that, do you mean you were saying you're bouncing around all over the place? Were you I'm staying in LA and I'm going
staying
out
in one
and
place. I'm dating.
Yeah.
I'm putting myself out there.
Yeah.
I mean, mine was a little pre-apps, but you have to leave your house to meet someone. I know, it sucks.
I want to be out. I just feel like I work in the beauty industry. Everybody is a woman or a homosexual,
which
who
we
I
love.
love dearly. We're naturally in a place that's just all women and all gay men.
Do you do the apps? I know.
I'm on them, but they are truly
I know, the worst.
horrific.
But here's the deal. This is what I tell my girlfriend. She met on Tinder. His name's Josh. She married him. They have a baby. It's bad until it's not.
Okay.
I know.
You just have to go on the dates.
Were you reaching out to people? Not on the app, but just would you, if you saw someone cute?
I was terrible. I was like a no. I think setups, apps. I remember Emisha would write my texts for me to make me sound cooler, to make me sound like I'm cooler than I am. But it does take work. You just never know. But it's fucking hard.
Yeah. Okay.
And
Thanks for reassuring me. Because
it's
I'm
gonna
like, is it
happen.
me? Is it me?
And I do think you should freeze.
Yeah. Everyone tells me this. It's time.
I don't think you'll ever regret it. Where they are now, I mean, Gadir is incredible. Where they are now is not where they were with me.
Which is crazy because it wasn't even that long ago.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
How
It's amazing.
Advanced and even more advanced they're getting every day.
Yeah.
But it's not easy. But you got to put yourself out there. It's funny. I had 3 babies at Cedar Sinai, and my husband, TMI, but I had to have C-sections. And my husband would go all the time down to the Starbucks and he's like, this is a great place to meet people. I mean, he was, I'm like, thanks. But he would always see so many different people. Go to where people go.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Yep.
How old are you?
39.
Just turned 39.
You're fine. So many people were like, it's not going to happen. And I'm like, but it is going to happen. You have to also believe it's going to happen.
I think that's the hardest thing for me is
I know.
I am very confident in who I am as a person, but then there is this nagging thing in the back of you just got to be prepared to be okay to be by yourself, which I always have been. But I think now as I've gotten older, and I never used to think about being a woman and not having a family or wanting a family. It wasn't something I grew up being I'm going to be a mom in this. It was always career woman. But then obviously, the biological clock changes things and makes you evaluate your life. And I was like, I have to actually actively like turn off that thing in the back of my head that's like, be prepared to be alone. Because it's like, I can't even have, you can't have the negative.
You're not going to be alone.
Yeah.
You don't, you can have a baby a lot of different ways. You can have a family. A family doesn't look one way, but you have to believe it. And I know it sounds crazy, but like deep down, I'm like, I'm going to have a family. I was a little bit similar. I didn't want a baby at 30.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't want a baby at 33. I woke up between 35 and 36 and maybe it was because I was playing pregnant and I don't know, like something just hit me. I'm sure like you're like, well, wait a second.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I do, I do think change, putting yourself out there and all of this, everybody knows all of this. And maybe it is the small little things, but that's what I had to do. I mean, I met Stuber at the bathrooms of Sunset Tower after a Golden Globes. Was it Golden Globes or no, it was Golden Globes party. And Misha had a crush on a hairdresser. And she really wanted to go to the after party. And I had already done all the stuff since 4. And I'm like, I'll get you in. I'll sneak you in. And then I'm leaving. And I got her in. I was waiting at the bathroom. And I see Stuber. And I'm like, oh my God, how are you? And I didn't think anything about it. He was in a situation. I was, getting out of something. And he was like, oh, what do you have going on? I mean, everybody always, in Hollywood, you're like, oh, things are great, even when they suck. I was like, oh, call my agent. And then they were like, Scott Stuber wants to sit down with you. And I'm like, okay, whatever. Anyway, he ended up getting out of a very sadly public situation with his ex. And I'm like, I can't date you. But he asked me out for a year. And I dated that entire year that he asked me out. I know. I was proud of myself. Yeah, I was trying really, really hard.
And then he got you eventually. He reeled you in.
See?
Love
but
it.
it's going to happen.
Yeah.
It is.
I have to like.
But also like now so many women are doing matchmaking or matchmakers or like hiring.
Have you interviewed any good ones?
I think it was Patty I had on not long ago.
the matchmaker.
She's fabulous, by the way.
She's an insane person, but that's what makes her amazing television.
But that's what makes her amazing. But also don't judge a book by its cover.
Totally. That's the hard thing with apps though.
Yeah.
Because even on apps, you can find somebody attractive on an app, but if you read about them and their personality doesn't jump through, I'm not interested in that. I'm like, you seem like a wet dish rag. Next.
No.
I'm like, I'm going to meet my person in the wild, but I'm also like, if there's an opportunity to like connect with somebody and then actually meet them in person, it should just be happening.
And also, Kirby, have the balls to say, set me up.
Yeah.
I feel like
in that way,
it's going to happen because you are very open and you haven't even been single for that long. I know.
I'm like, is there like a great guy that you know?
Friend?
Let me think.
Yeah. Molly's texting me later. Okay, go here.
Here's Dr. Kadir's number. Here's his number. He's single. He has kids, but fine.
No, that's fine. Okay. Can we do a little bit of rapid fire with you? What is the craziest moment that you can remember and can share that you have had on MTV, whether it was House of Style or like Spring Break?
Cancun, Fashionably Loud, live. Angel was singing. No, it was that song
by Shaggy.
Yes. That was probably one of the best moments of my life. I looked absolutely ridiculous, but I was in shorts. It was probably the last time I was in pink shorts. But that was one of the crowd. And it was just that epic MTV moment. Hosting at the Radio City Music Hall, that was pretty epic. But at that moment of Cancun, Carson did, it was pretty epic in that way.
MTV Spring Break. I wish they could figure out what that version is now because it was such a time.
I wanted to be there so badly in my 12-year-old self.
Mardi Gras. I mean, we just had those moments throughout the year that were so epic and so fun.
They did the snowy version.
Oh, yeah.
Remember? I mean, it was so fab.
Did you have any fun flirty moments with anyone back then?
Oh my God, yes. Bradley Cooper was a little good flirt.
Ooh.
Josh Jamel was a great flirt. There's some fun
Any interactions with NSYNC?
Yeah. Any of the boy bands?
No, not really. No.
Not for you.
I wasn't a boy band girl, but I loved NSYNC.
Loved NSYNC.
Best boy band.
Love my Backstreet Boys too.
Same. What is the most underrated YSE product?
The Problem Solver.
And what is that?
It is a corrective dark spot, melasma, hyperpigment. Like it is just, if you've been in the sun, if you're aging, do a dime or a nickel on your face, your neck, your deck, your back of hands. It's probably one of my it's the best form of tranexamic acid that is made into like almost like a little bit of a lotion serum. It doesn't dry you out. And it is literally like a magic eraser.
If that is the underrated product, what is the hero product for YSE? And then what products make a customer a repeat customer?
Our Minutes to Glow is our repeat. It's our Wide Awake that just launched in 4 shades. It's crushing. Everybody, when I would ask my community what they wanted to see from YSE, they were like, we want an eye cream, but they don't wear an eye cream. And I'm like, well, do you wear it? No, but I want to wear it. And so I created an under eye brightening eye cream that you can wear every single day for dark circles, puffiness. It's color correcting. It's blurring. It's fabulous. The Minutes to Glow is the Wide Awake, the Skin Glow. So it's a 3-in-1. It's a primer. It protects and it glows. Minutes to Glow is my Wide Awake brightening eye, my Leica gloss, and you can pick any tint, and then my Skin Glow. So that's the 3 core. And then my pads. I mean, your favorite X pads, they're by far the best pad on the market. They don't dry you out. You don't smell like hot dog. You literally, if you have acne, if you're sensitive, it just works. If you want smoother, better texture, it just gently takes off that top layer. So you don't, when you see women wearing their makeup,
Yeah.
kind of see, you're like, wait,
Sitting.
you need to wash your face and then you need to have a good old peel. Girl, this just does it gently every single day.
F, marry, kill. MTV, Old Navy, or Sports Illustrated?
I would probably marry Sports Illustrated. Probably kill Old Navy because of the product is so like dated right now. And then I would F MTV because it was just such a great time in my life.
It was a good time.
Love that.
It was a good time.
Yeah.
Molly, thanks for coming on
You guys
Los
are amazing.
Angeles. You're the
Thank you
best.
so
Thank
much.
you.
Thank you.